Most people crave comfort, not hard work. And that's the problem. Your brain is wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Hard work feels like pain, so your brain naturally resists it. But what if you could rewire your brain to crave hard work? What if you could make productivity feel as rewarding as scrolling on your phone or binge watching Netflix? That's exactly what we're going to do. The first thing you need to understand is that your brain is addicted to dopamine, the chemical that makes you feel good. The reason you procrastinate is because your brain has learned that watching videos, playing games, or scrolling social media gives you a quick hit of dopamine. Hard work, on the other hand, requires effort before the reward. So, the trick is to make hard work just as rewarding as the distractions. One way to do this is through habit stacking, a concept from James Clear's Atomic Habits. Pair a difficult task with something enjoyable. For example, if you hate doing deep work, try playing your favorite instrumental music while working. If you struggle with working out, allow yourself to listen to your favorite podcast only when you're exercising. This way, your brain begins to associate effort with pleasure, making hard work more enjoyable. Another trick is to gamify your progress. Your brain loves games. That's why people are addicted to earning points in video games or tracking their steps on fitness apps. So, create a game out of your work. Give yourself small rewards for hitting milestones. For example, if you complete 3 hours of focused work, allow yourself a 10-minute break to do something fun. If you finish a difficult task, treat yourself to something small but satisfying. This keeps your brain engaged and motivated. Another powerful method is the just start rule. Most people wait for motivation before they start working, but motivation comes after you start, not before. Your brain often exaggerates how difficult a task is before you start. But once you begin, you realize it's not as bad as you thought. So, tell yourself, I'll do this for just 5 minutes. Once you get started, momentum kicks in, and you'll likely keep going. Use the Zeigarnik effect to your advantage. This psychological principle states that your brain hates unfinished tasks. Have you ever noticed how cliffhangers in TV shows make you want to keep watching? That's the Zeigarnik effect in action. To trick your brain into craving hard work, start tasks and leave them unfinished on purpose. If you begin writing an article or brainstorming ideas but stop midway, your brain will naturally feel the urge to complete it. Next, reframe hard work as a privilege, not a punishment. Most people think of work as something they have to do. But what if you saw it as something you get to do? Instead of saying, I have to work on my business, say, I get to build something that could change my life. Instead of saying, I have to study, say, I get to learn and improve myself. This simple shift in mindset makes a huge difference in how your brain perceives effort. Another way to train your brain is through identity-based habits. Instead of saying, I need to work harder, tell yourself, I am the type of person who thrives on hard work. Your brain is wired to act in ways that align with your identity. If you keep repeating, I'm a hard worker, I'm disciplined, I get things done, your brain will start believing it. Your actions will follow. Visualization is another powerful tool. High performers, from Olympic athletes to successful entrepreneurs, use it all the time. Close your eyes and visualize yourself working hard, staying focused, and achieving your goals. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagined experiences. If you consistently visualize yourself thriving on hard work, your brain will start believing that's who you are. Also, surround yourself with people who embrace hard work. We naturally mirror the habits of the people around us. If your friends are lazy, you'll struggle to stay motivated. But if you're surrounded by ambitious, disciplined people, their work ethic will rub off on you. This is why masterminds and accountability groups are so powerful. One of the most powerful ways to do this is by rewiring your dopamine system. Your brain is constantly seeking dopamine hits, which is why social media, junk food, and video games feel irresistible. But here's the trick: you can make hard work your main source of dopamine. Instead of rewarding yourself with passive entertainment, train your brain to associate the feeling of accomplishment with pleasure. After a deep work session, take a moment to feel pride in what you just did. Celebrate small wins. The more you reinforce that hard work leads to a dopamine release, the more your brain will crave it. Another method is to change your relationship with discomfort. The biggest reason people avoid hard work is because it feels uncomfortable. But what if you could start seeing discomfort as a sign of progress? The best athletes, entrepreneurs, and performers actually seek out discomfort because they know it leads to growth. When you hit resistance, instead of thinking, "This is hard, I should stop," train yourself to think, "This is hard, that means I'm improving." One powerful trick is delayed gratification training. Your brain is used to instant rewards likes on social media, quick snacks, easy entertainment. But success comes from playing the long game. To train yourself to crave hard work, practice delaying gratification in small ways. Skip dessert for a week. Take cold showers. Walk instead of driving. When you learn to resist short-term pleasure, you build the discipline to pursue long-term success. A simple but effective strategy is repetition-based confidence. The more you do something, the more confident you feel doing it. If you've ever started a new skill, you know how awkward and frustrating it feels at first. But once you repeat it enough, you start craving it because it's familiar and rewarding. This applies to work, too. The more you force yourself to start, the easier it becomes to keep going. You should also create friction for distractions and remove friction for good habits. Your brain follows the path of least resistance. If you want to crave hard work, make distractions harder to access. Delete apps, block websites, and put your phone in another room. At the same time, make it easier to work. Keep your workspace clean, have your to-do list ready, and set clear goals so you don't waste time deciding what to do. Shift your inner dialogue. The way you talk to yourself shapes your actions. If you constantly say, "I hate working, I wish I could just relax," your brain will resist effort. Instead, start saying things like, "I love pushing myself. I feel amazing when I make progress. Hard work makes me stronger." Even if it feels forced at first, your brain will eventually believe what you repeatedly tell it. Another method is exposure therapy for effort. If you struggle to focus for long periods, start with just 10 minutes of deep work and build up. If you find hard work overwhelming, break it into tiny steps. The key is to gradually increase your tolerance for effort until it becomes second nature. Also, find a deeper purpose in your work. If your only reason for working hard is money or external validation, you'll eventually burn out. But if you connect your effort to something meaningful, a vision for your future, the impact you want to make, the person you want to become, your brain will naturally feel more drawn to it. Lastly, one of the biggest hacks is to make hard work non-negotiable. Stop relying on willpower. Willpower is unreliable. Instead, create an environment where hard work is the default. If you want to wake up early, put your alarm across the room so you have to get out of bed. If you want to focus, remove distraction, put your phone in another room. Set clear deadlines and hold yourself accountable. The less you leave up to choice, the easier it becomes. When you implement these strategies, hard work stops feeling like something you have to force yourself to do. Instead, it becomes something you naturally crave. And when you start craving hard work, success is inevitable.